welcome to another episode of Have You Seen It? I am Charles, and I am with my lovely co-host, Denise. How you doing, girl?
I'm fine.
Well, as you see that we are in, I'm going to say COVID protocol. Right, because of me, right? I'm trying to protect my co-host. Right, I don't have COVID, right? But my lovely significant other does have COVID, and so she did have it. She doesn't have it anymore, but we're just taking extra precautions, right, to make sure that I don't spread anything. I've actually came up negative twice. Thank God for that, right? But you see my co-host putting it.
Wakanda.
Not the Wakanda.
Get away.
The stop sign on. So we're going to jump into our movie review here. My co-host is going to review a brand new movie today. Go for it, girl.
All right. Hello, moviegoers. All right. So the movie that I'm going to review is Moonfall, starring Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson, and John Bradley. I will let the audience know right off the bat, this is not what I do. I don't do space, but I love Halle Berry, so I wanted to see how she would carry this quite different role. So when the movie starts, Halle Berry and Patrick Wilson's characters are astronauts in space, and they're on a space mission doing space stuff, and something goes wrong, and they end up losing a fellow astronaut. And once they get back down to Earth, there's sort of, I guess, an inquiry, if you will, to find out what happened and whether or not they were at fault. What they saw and experienced in space was real, but it kind of sounds outlandish. So it makes Patrick Wilson's character look like, it was his fault. So, and Halle Berry, being his partner, has to kind of tell the truth, and it makes it look even worse. So his career is over, and he's just trying to survive at this point, whereas Halle Berry's character is now a NASA executive and doing very well and running things. So she realizes that, hey, this did occur, but we need to get to the bottom of this, and I think I can do it. However, I need some help. So she goes to her former coworker and kind of, runs this by him. And he's like, yeah, whatever. But then this conspiracy theorist, played by John Bradley, convinces the two of them that, hey, I think we can do this, if you want to try. Fast forward, the three of them decide, let's go for it. They, go back up into space. They leave their family and so forth. And while they're up in space, all of this catastrophic nonsense happens on Earth, floods and fires, explosions, all that sort of stuff. Once they get into space, they realize that, this vacation is not quite what we had in mind, because a lot of mysteries about the moon, falling off of its orbit and disrupting Earth are now going to be uncovered. And they are literally sucked in to finding out exactly what's really going on and why.
Hey.
And that's it. I am going to give this movie a B- because, as I said, it's not my thing, but it was watchable for 2 hours. I just wanted to see, Halle Berry in a different type of role. And I like the fact that she was in charge running things as a Black woman. And I'm down with that. So that is my review.
Okay. We're doing a role reversal today, y'all, right? She's doing science fiction. I'm doing a comedy. I'm doing a comedy. I'm doing
A
romantic comedy.
rom-com.
The name of the movie is Marry Me, starring Jennifer Lopez, Owen Wilson, Malumba, John Bradley again. He went from science fiction now to a romantic comedy. Sarah Silverman and Chloe Coleman. So Jennifer Lopez plays Kat Valdez, and her and Braslin, who is going to be her husband to be, right, are the biggest pop stars in the world right now. And they write the song "Marry Me," and the song is such a big hit, right? It's now the marriage anthem. They decide to do a concert wedding and get married in front of the world, right? And singing this song. Charlie Gilbert, played by Owen Wilson, is a humble math teacher, and his friend Parker, played by Sarah Silverman, guilts him into going to this concert. She looks out in the crowd and she sees a reluctant Charlie out there holding the sign that says "Marry Me," and she says, "Will you marry me?" And he comes up on the stage and he marries her, right? Which is totally crazy. Right. So now all that drama is over. So the next day comes around this, and her manager, played by John Bradley, says, "Hey, we got to get control of this." And she said, "We are." He said, "I'm going to stay married to him. Right. And we'll control the narrative. Right. And so, and also people won't think I'm crazy, which I thought that was too late. She was already crazy for what she had already done. Right. So they actually stayed married and they start to get to know each other, right? And that's how the movie goes on for the rest of the movie. I recommend Marry Me. You can see this on the Peacock networks. Denise, what is your nailed it for the day?
My nailed it is Denzel Washington from the movie The Book of Eli. I watched this movie twice. The first time I watched it, I didn't know the man was blind. He was that good. So Denzel in a post-apocalyptic situation, traveling a very long distance to deliver the good book to a very special place. He had me fooled. I did not know that man was blind.
So my nailed it is Charlize Theron as Andy in The Old Guard. She plays a butt-kicking immortal who's about 1,800 years old, and she spent her whole life protecting humanity from the shadows. Now, her performance in this action thriller I think, is just a hidden gem, right? And you can check it out on Netflix because it is a Netflix original. So my nailed it is Charlize Theron as Andy in The Old Guard.
All right, folks, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And we are available on every podcast platform in the universe. Just type in, "Have you seen it?" with Charles and Denise, and there we will be. And as you are listening to that podcast, please give us a generous 5-star rating.
Audience, thank you very much again for joining us for another episode of Have You Seen It with yours truly, Charles, and my homegirl, Denise, remotely again. And we are out.
Bye.